Welcome to Storytime. I'm Miss Julie, and today we're going to have lots of fun telling a wintry story all together. And I learned this story from the Vancouver Public Library, and I'm going to teach it to you. All you need are your two hands. So hold your hands out like this. Make a fist with this hand and keep your thumb out. Make a fist with this hand and keep that thumb out. And now we're all ready, and you just have to follow along with me, and we'll tell this story together. Now, this is the story of Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle. They both lived in identical houses, and this is how Mr. Wiggle went into his house. He opened up the door, he went inside, and then he closed the door behind him. And wouldn't you know, Mr. Waggle did it the exact same way. He would open the door, go inside, and close the door behind him. Now, one day, Mr. Wiggle wanted to go to visit Mr. Waggle. So he opened the door, he went outside, and he closed the door behind him. Brrr! It was a cold, wintry day. So he grabbed his sled, and he trudged up the hill and slid down the hill, and up the hill and 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 down the hill, until they got to Mr. Waggle's house, where he knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. No answer. Oh, Mr. Waggle, are you home? Still no answer. Oh boy, so he trudged up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, until he got home, where he opened the door, he went inside, and he closed the door behind him. Now, the very next day, Mr. Waggle decided to go visit Mr. Wiggle. So he opened the door, he went outside, and he closed the door behind him. Brrr! It was a very cold winter day. So he grabbed his sled, and then he trudged up the hill and slid down the hill, and up the hill and 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 down the hill, until he got to Mr. Wiggle's house, where he knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. No answer. Oh, Mr. Wiggle, he said, are you home? Still no answer. So he trudged up the hill and down the hill, and 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 up the hill and down the hill, until he got back to his house, where he opened the door, he went inside, and he closed the door behind him. Well, wouldn't you know, the very next day, Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle decided to go visit each other at the exact same time. So they both opened their doors, they went outside, and then they closed their doors behind them. And then they grabbed their sleds because, brrr, it was a very, very, very cold day. And they trudged up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, until they met in the middle. They were so excited to see each other, and so they rolled down the hill, and they ran back up, and they rolled down the hill, and they ran back up, and they rolled down the hill, and they ran back up until they were tired. And then they each told each other all about their days and their weeks and anything they could think of to say to one another. And when they were tired of that, they gave each other a nice hug, said goodbye, and then they both went up the hill and down the hill, and 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 up the hill and down the hill, until, they finally got back to their homes, where they opened the door, they went inside, and then they closed the door behind them. That was a long day. Well, the next time that Mr. Wiggle or Mr. Waggle decided to visit each other on a cold, wintry day, they used the telephone. The end. And that's a fun little story that you can tell anyone, anytime, because you just need your two hands to do it. So I hope you had as much fun as I did. I want to wish you all a wonderful day, and I hope to see you really soon. Bye-bye.